Hello and welcome. This is January 24th. This is Three Things with Ian. Let's begin. So yesterday we did my 6 must-watch TV shows. I did some research today on the best movies of 2024, but I have to be honest with you. The way that I consume movies is I usually wait until they're streaming, and so there's a large amount of movies that I really wanted to see this year that I have not got a chance to. DD for one, although that is streaming now. Anora. There's like 4 or 5 movies. Sing Sing is another one. There are 4 or 5 movies that I really want to see before I give you my list. So instead, I'm going to pull a fast one on you. I'm going to give you 3 movies that brought me a lot of happiness in 2024. They're not the greatest movies, but they're the movies that stuck with me. Dune Chapter 2, or Movie 2. Once again, let's pump the brakes. The books are so superior to the movies, but I did think that in terms of the visuals, the world building, the acting, Charlemagne can essentially do whatever at this point, from Willy Wonka to Bob Dylan, but he played a really, I thought, fantastic Paul Atreides, and his sort of downfall and the Messiah, or not the Messiah. And so Dune Chapter 2, I really enjoyed it. I think about the music. I think about the cinematography. It stuck with me for a while. So that's my first take. 2, it's a movie called Fall Guy. It's basically Ryan Gosling playing a stuntman. And it's kind of a movie in a movie because like he's playing a stuntman, but there's a team of stunt peoples doing the actual stunts. I had a lot of fun with this movie. Emily Blunt plays the love interest who ends up directing him in a movie. A lot of people just really like this movie. Expectations were maybe lowish, but super fun, awesome special effects and stunts. I think it broke the record for like the most revolutions a car does in a real take. Anyway, check this out. It's called Fall Guy. It's available on Peacock and probably everywhere else at this point. And my last movie that I really enjoyed was the Furioso Mad Max saga. So this is like the second movie of the revitalization of the franchise that initially starred Mel Gibson a long time ago. I actually have not seen the originals, so I'm sorry. Mad Max is just fun. It makes no sense. They apparently hand build these cars, and there's explosions, and there's the desert, and there's the soundtrack. There's not a lot of dialogue. There doesn't need to be a lot of dialogue. It moves along at a fast pace. It's just a fun ride. No pun intended. So those are the 3 movies that I think about a lot. They're not the best movies of the year, but I will have to circle back and give you some more takes on that. My number 2 thing today is I thought about how to spice up Fridays, right? So there's going to be a lot of Fridays, 52, that I'm going to speak to. And so Hot Take Friday. As I was driving home, I thought of this. So my first hot take for the new year is shoveling. Now, there's an asterisk, there's a caveat. If it's a health condition or something like that, disregard my messaging. But I feel strongly that if there's 3 inches of snow or less, your best bet is still going to be the shovel. And I feel this way for several reasons. Because I have timed myself shoveling 3 inches of snow versus snowblowing 3 inches of snow, and the time is essentially the same, right? You're still moving down the same paths and alleyways. You're still going this. You're doing the same pattern, right? It's up and it's down, or it's left or it's right. But the thing about shoveling 3 inches of snow or less, unless it's super heavy, is that we're just pushing the snow. Essentially, shoveling is best done when we're just pushing. We're not lifting and chunking out the snow. We're not an excavator. We're just sort of pushing it, and then you kind of finish it. So if it's not that much snow, there's no time save using the snowblower. You're going to be better. It's better for the environment. It's a better cardio, health asterisks. It's a better cardio activity, and you're essentially getting the same amount of coverage. You get down to the same bare pavement. It just makes a lot more sense. You're not saving any time by snowblowing that much snow. You should just utilize the same formation and just push the snow and then do a little lift, or no lift at all if it's less than that. I think it's fun to snowblow sometimes, but I just want to pump the brakes and just like think about this in terms of like my hot take is 3 inches or less, you just shovel. It's kind of, my corollary would be the 5-hour fly rule. If it's 5 hours or less, you just drive because the flying is gonna eat up more time anyway. So, irrespective of cost, 5 hours or less, you drive. 3 inches or less, you just shovel. And I can do a whole episode on shovels. Maybe I will if I'm running out of content. My third thing for today is I'm heading to a college hockey game. The way that college hockey does their series and their matchups I think, is the best in sports. You get a Friday and a Saturday. You play back to back. Home team comes in, or the home team stays. The away team comes in. You play them Friday night and Saturday night, and then you don't play during the week. Next week you go to somebody else. But what I like about it is if you actually see both games, they're completely different. The Friday night game, you're feeling each other out. The scores it's a wider grading of scores. It could be 5-2, 3-0, whatever. That Saturday, there's something about that Saturday. You're well rested. You had a good meal at the hotel, and you know the team. You know what they provide. And that second game is it's a different kind of atmosphere. It's closer. You don't want to lose. You don't want to fly in or drive and lose both games, right? So there's a different kind of intensity, and it's really cool to see. You would think that the home team has a really big advantage for Friday and Saturday, and they do have an advantage still. But that Saturday game, that away team is just chipping, and they're just doing their darndest to equalize. And so I really feel like the way that they do they do their series, the 2 games back to back, marginal rest, is the best. And then there's that huge break, right? There's no Wednesday or Thursday night hockey for college. You play your games on Friday and Saturday, 7 o'clock, home by 10. I just think it's awesome. Great atmosphere. I like the back-to-backness. I like the simplicity of the schedule. You play everybody away, and you play everybody at home, and it's always these dual games. So those are my 3 hot takes. The 3 movies I loved this year, or had the most fun with last year. My shoveling hot take, and my college hockey review. All right, I will see you guys tomorrow. Have a nice night.